Hey, what's up YouTube? It's the Merman Master coming at you guys again from the Team Time Riders YouTube channel with another video today. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a deck that was furnished to me by one of Team Time Riders' most revered former members, the one and only Team Time Riders Godfather. He gave me this deck. As you've probably seen my hero deck profiles before in the past, because he knew I'm a fan of the elemental heroes and really love building that kind of deck. And so he decided to give me his deck before he went back to Mexico. So, you know, most people, if they get a new deck, they might play it for a little bit and trade it. But I promised him, and I told him, that what I wanted to do was to try and make this deck as much or, as good as I possibly could. Granted, I've been working on that other hero deck for a while, but these Neo-Spacians are a lot harder. Their restrictions to go back to the extra deck are tough, and there's no inherent built-in protection with any of them. Nevertheless, just like Godfather himself, we're forging ahead on this deck, and I've made a couple of changes that I think really can make the deck shine. So guys, without further ado, let's get into the profile, and I'll show you guys what's going on along the way. So to start off, wouldn't be a Neo-Spacian deck without 2 copies of Elemental Hero Neos. This is the perfect number of copies of Elemental Hero Neos precisely because it's just a level 7 normal monster. You have to run it in order to get your effects off, but then again, there are situations where it might not be as useful. So, 2 is the perfect number. You see it when you want to and not really when you don't. Next card that we're running in here. So we have a setup of Ivan's favorite 4 Neo-Spacians. So we have 1 Neo-Spacian Grand Mole, 1 Neo-Spacian Flare Scarab, 1 Neo-Spacian Air Hummingbird, and 1 Neo-Spacian Aqua Dolphin. Now he's chosen these 4 and specifically left out the 2 other Neo-Spacians, Dark Panther and Glow Moss, because he believed that these were the best 4, or, in the case of things like Aqua Dolphin or Flare Scarab, are part of some Neo-Spacian fusions that do a really, really good job with what they're given. So that's all these dudes. Each of the Neo-Spacians has their own effect. Of course, Grand Mole is the best one, probably out of all of them. Gains life point, or as non-targeting bounce removal for anything. He just bounces him and himself. Flare Scarab allows you to gain 400 attack for everything, every spell or trap card your opponent controls. Hummingbird lets you gain 500 life points back for every card in your opponent's hand, and Aqua Dolphin lets you ditch a card from your hand to the graveyard to pop something with attack lower, or to select something randomly, and if its attack is lower than something in the hand, you can pop that thing. So that's all 4 Neo-Spacians. Next cards we are running in the deck, of course, guys, is 3 copies of E-Hero Prisma. Get your Neos to the grave, get your Neo-Spacians. Very, very good card. Lots of the times you'll be getting this out with multiple things and, using 2 Prismas that are named as other things to just really facilitate your Neo-Spacian plays. You got to have this card in here at 3. Very, very good card. Next card, to further facilitate our plays and help us out, guys, we have 2 copies of Summoner Monk. Discard a spell card and special summon a level 4 monster from your deck. Very, very good at fetching out a variety of different monsters, especially like Prismas and things like that. So a good card for sure to have in here. Now, guys, moving on to some more rank 4 enablers. We have 2 copies of Gothenburg. Gothenburg is another great card, especially for whatever kind of special summoning you're going to do. Allows you to get out the cards, and the extra added ability and effect is he's also a warrior, so that's really good for some of your XYZs. Now we have 1 copy of Tin Goldfish, who's just in here as an extra rank 4 enabler, and works especially well with some of the other cards we have in here right now. Now, moving on to the recently unlimited card in here is 1 copy of Thunder King Ryo. Very, very great stun card. Recently went back to 3 on the last list, and excited for that. So, Congratulations. It was a long time coming, and hopefully this will herald a return to the stun days that we used to have before. But Thunder King, for those who don't know, can negate an inherent summon by tributing himself, and also is kind of like a mistake that prevents searching except by drawing. 1900 Beat Stick is very, very good for attack-wise as well, and was amazing when he came out. So, that's something really good to focus on. And now we have one copy of Honest. Gotta have Honest in this deck. Very, very good card. So just a really great thing. Just a lot of your Neos and Neo-Spacians are lights, so that's a good play. And then the final two monsters we have in here are 2 Effect Veiler. Why Effect Veiler at this point in time? Because Veiler is easily going to be coming back in the next couple of formats, and offers a nice cheap alternative to Ash Blossoms and other various things. Very, very good card, especially for disruption. So that's going to round out the monsters in the deck. Now moving on to the spells. We're running 2 E-Call and 1 Rhoda. Perfect 3 of Sweetn here searches all your heroes, as well as searches other warriors in your deck and allows you to go for more XYZ plays. So very, very good match. This is just a perfect number. I tried 3 E-Calls, but I noticed that it clogged a little bit too much, so we cut the number down to 2. The next cards we have in here is a Ivan/Godfather special, the 3 Miracle Fusions. All your Neo-Spacians and your elemental heroes are different attributes. So you can easily combine an elemental hero with one of your Neo-Spacians or something else in your graveyard and make any of the Omni heroes in the deck. So really, really good card. Also really great for summoning out elemental hero Neos Knight, which is another fantastic card for beating over your opponent. Next cards we have is, it wouldn't be a Neo-Spacian deck, of course, guys, without that 3 copies of Miracle Contact. Miracle Contact is one of the best cards for this deck of all time. I'm so glad to see that it had come out back in, I think, 2013, 2014 in Return of the Duelist. GX players have been waiting for years for this card to drop. It just got a reprint in Light's Revenge, guys, so go ahead and pick those up. Really, really awesome card, and really helps out the deck because you can send all your monsters from your hand, field, or graveyard to the deck, and make sure to send the named ones so you can use your contact outs and different things like that. So that is the 3 copies of Miracle Contact. Really, really good. Now we have, of course, 3 copies of A Hero Lives, and A Hero Lives is especially good in this deck because it not only allows you to get, Prismas and stuff out without using your normal summon, allows you to mill, the missing link that you have, usually Neos. If you have a Neo-Spacian in your hand, allows you to go for one of your fusions. And not only that, but it also allows you to decrease your life points steadily. So if you're going for like a Neo-Spacian or a elemental hero Air Neos, that increases the amount of attack points you can get on that and helps facilitate further your OTK plays. Next cards we have in here, guys, is 2 Convert Contact. Help with furthering along your process with your ditching your stuff to the grave to draw cards. You activate it when you have no cards or no monsters on your side of the field. You control no monsters. Mill your monsters to the grave, your Neo-Spacians to the grave, and then draw 2 cards. So it sends 1 from the hand and 1 from the deck, and it's really good, really easy. You can also search your Aqua Dolphin off of Rhoda, so that gives you quick and easy access to a Neo-Spacian for your hand to get Convert Contact off. Next, of course, guys, as I mentioned, we have that 2 Contact Out. Contact Out is really great because your Neo-Spacians or your elemental hero Neos fusion monsters will shuffle back into the extra deck during the end phase, and this really pretty much prevents that from happening. Gets you out your Neos and your Neo-Spacians again. Especially great during the battle phase or to dodge a targeting effect. But one thing is that you have to make sure that you have all of the elemental heroes or Neo-Spacians, all of the fusion materials listed on that monster inside your deck to special summon, because otherwise this effect won't really work. So there's that. And now for the final spell is a little tech card of mine. It's a personal tech. We have Message in a Bottle. You may be asking what this card is and what it does. And to be frank and simple, basically it's a XYZ centered card, but the effect is that unless you apply all of these rules, you cannot special summon. You take 4,000 damage or something like that. It's either 2,000 or 4,000. I can't exactly remember which one it was, but basically you target 3 monsters with different levels in your graveyard and you special summon them to the field in whatever positions you want. In addition, you can only XYZ summon the turn that you use this card, but what it does is it helps you get out a bunch of monsters onto the field. And once you summon those 3 monsters, if you do not conduct an XYZ summon in the turn, you will take that 4,000 damage. But this is really great for just getting a bunch of monsters out on your field and helping to further move along that process. So another cool addition that I have in the deck. And I definitely at least recommend you guys checking out Message in a Bottle just to see how you feel about it. Now, moving on to the traps. Of course, traps are big trouble for us, so we've got triplicates of Royal Decree in here. Really, really helpful trap card for stopping your opponent from, you know, just preemptively soloing or bottomlessing any of your Jaden or Neos fusions and stuff like that, so that's good. Next, we're running Double Mirror Force, another great card. Prevent your opponent's attacks from coming in. A little bit of defensive power. And then we have Battle Guard Howling. This is one of my favorite warrior tech cards. When a warrior is attacked or targeted by an opponent's monster, you can activate this card, bounce the monster back to the hand, and then they take damage equal to its attack power. So amazing, amazing card. Really, really helpful in a variety of ways. And it's just like a lot of people don't really see it coming. It puts a little bit of extra damage on board and helps you out to further move along on your hopefully OTKs. The last card I have in the deck, guys, facilitating with our life point manipulation here, is 1 copy of Hope for Escape. This is a Mermail Master original, and I put this card in here because of the amount of life points we lose and the amount of life points we end up paying. You know, you have a lot of cards in here that do work well with life points, or, you know, don't require you to pay like a set number, rather like, you know, half your life points if you're paying 4,000 for the other card, and you're paying you know, half your life points for the Hero Lives and stuff like that. You're gonna get low pretty fast, and your opponent may maintain their height. So Hope for Escape is just a great card for stopping your opponent from making those kinds of plays. That's going to be it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, guys. For starters, we have 1 copy of Air Neos. Great card. Neo-Spacian Air Hummingbird and Neos, and gains attack equal to the difference in your life if it's lower. Then we have Flare Scarab, who is elemental hero Flare Neos, and he'll gain the 400 attack for everything, all spells and traps on all parts of the field instead of just the normal field. Next we have Grand Neos with Grand Mole. He's just a bounce. And finally, we have my new addition in here, replacing Tsukiyomi, is 1 elemental hero Aqua Neos. Great card for destroying things in your opponent's hand. So that's going to wrap up the 2 fusions, and then we have 2 3 fusions, guys. As you notice, we don't have any of the Glow Moss or Dark Panther fusions in this extra deck, but we have the Storm Neos and the Magma Neos. These are both like the best ones in the deck, so you gotta run these guys. And they also are different than the other ones because they gain massive amounts of attack, and then this one's a heavy storm here. This one gains a bunch of attack, and then when they're going to the graveyard, you basically just stop your opponent from doing things by this one bouncing everything back to the hand, and this one bouncing everything back to the deck. So that has to be when they remove themselves from the field during the end phase. So you want to try and see what you can do to get that effect off. It can be really destructive and very effective. Next, of course, we have Neos Knight, because we're working a lot with Neos, and we got that Miracle Fusion in there. Another very good card. Now moving on to our Omni Heroes, guys. You already know them, but I'll put them over once again. We have one copy of E-Hero Absolute Zero, one copy of Elemental Hero Gaia, one copy of Great Tornado, one copy of the Shiny, and finally one copy of Elemental Hero Nova Master. So that's going to round out the fusions, and moving on to the XYZs. We're only running 4 of them. Technically the last one is not really anything, since that would be the 16th card of the deck, but I just decided I wanted to put it in just to see if anyone might be interested in trying something like this out. So we have 4 monsters, Excalibur and Blade Armor Ninja for the Warrior overlay, Castel for spot removal, and then the final one is, of course, that Vylon Dice Sigma for just stealing opponents' XYZ monsters and making more plays like that. So guys, that's going to be about wrapping it up for the Neo-Spacian deck profile, guys. If you really like this, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe on the Team Time Riders YouTube channel. And I'd like to give a special shout out once again to Team Time Riders Godfather for giving me this deck and for helping me to do this. You know, I really, really enjoy it, and I hope you guys can gain a little bit from this. I'm going to be retooling it even more. I'm going to try and make it, you know, similar to the anime style that I had when I was using my Jaden heroes. So keep a lookout for that. The deck profile is going to be changing, and we're going to make this a really, really good, hopefully, Neo-Spacian deck profile. So thanks once again for watching, guys. This has been the Mermail Master with the Team Time Riders YouTube channel, and I'm signing out. Catch you guys next time. Peace.